Hello everyone. Today we are delighted to be here at Iconic Apparels. We are here to talk to Apoorv Sen, the Managing Director of Iconic Apparels, and he's going to share with us as to how they've been working to grow this company, which started in 2006 to till here in the last 20 years, what journey they have, what has been their journey and how they have grown here on our very own podcast called Rewired. I look forward to a wonderful conversation with Apoorv, and I hope you enjoy this conversation too. So with Iconic, they have some of the most wonderful global brands in their portfolio, brands including Gant, their own very own private label, which is Iconic. They also have Just Cavalli, they have 𝐴𝐵𝐾𝐬𝐻, 𝐿_Women, Blue Giraffe Kids, amongst many other. So we're going to be shortly talking to Apoorv Sen about how he is building up the portfolio and has grown Iconic Apparel into a 600 crore business already. So we're here today talking to the CEO of Iconic Apparels, which is Apoorv Sen. So welcome Apoorv to Rewired, and we are very glad to be here and talking to you and getting to know you better and more about the work that Iconic is doing, and incredible work, I must say, that Iconic is doing in the Indian market. But before we get down to apparel, I would love for you to tell us, what do you think about the fashion industry? We've seen such change in the geopolitical climate in India as well as in the US. And given the fact that things are changing dramatically, and overall the impact that has been sort of impending and coming with digital growth also, what do you think is the change that we are likely to see in the fashion industry in years to come?
So I think the world is changing at a macro level. So if you see for the last 2-3 years, the world is becoming more isolated. But I don't see any impact coming on fashion because most of the impact is on whatever people export to US, for example. But we are an importing country, and mostly all the premium brands are in India are imported. So I don't see any impact there. And in fact, with the latest declaration on GST, more and more products will be affordable now. Prices will go down. And prices will go down in categories which are more affordable to middle class. And as I believe, the people who actually are in the premium segment, they don't care about a 500 rupees increase. They go more on experience and product. So I don't see any changes. Actually, whatever I see is positive, because the purchasing power of the middle class would increase with savings coming from GST, which government has declared. So I don't see any changes. I see it becoming better.
And how has GST changed business for you?
So GST has been, I'll say it is, there are both sides to GST. So in our kids business, GST has given us a lot of impetus, because it has brought a saving, not a saving to us, but a saving to the end consumer. So they will save when they shop.
Right.
And I don't see, though our prices have increased in the premium category, but I don't see any impact, because people who shop premium in India, they don't actually care about the value of the product. They're more driven by the experience and the quality of the product and the brand. So overall, I think it's a positive sentiment.
Right. And do you think it's going to convert into more sales in this year?
I'm sure. I think this festive season would go very strong. There is a positive impact. Anything which government announces as a bonanza always creates a positive sentiment for the consumers, and when there is a positive sentiment, it results into sales.
Right.
So it's been a start. We've already seen a good Pujo. Now we are anticipating a good Diwali, and going forward a good winter. And one more thing which is very strong and important for retail is also early winter. And with the rains coming now, the temperature is completely changed.
Correct.
In fact, now for retail, winter season is more important than Diwali. And with early winters coming in, I think this will be a good quarter for overall retail in India.
Right. But I mean, winter is a more North India phenomenon. So how do you see it paving out in South India and West India maybe?
So West India and South India is more festive. West India is a very big festive market. And there I think the positive sentiment of the overall ecosystem would help. and early winters coming in North, because North contributes to the maximum retail sales for any brand in the country. So North will be driven by early winters, West will be driven by festivity. So we are looking for a very strong quarter from October to December. So, and that's a very positive note, right?
Yes, certainly.
And in retail, you all need to be very optimistic. In spite of all the changes, that optimism should never go. And that's how we work, right? Even in the most difficult days, we've always been optimistic.
Right. Right. So, we see so many iconic brands within iconic apparels, and, we see Gant, we see Just Cavalli, True Religion, and Elle, and Blue Giraffe. How is it that you select your portfolio of brands? What drives you to say that, and believes, and what gives you the belief to say that, okay, this is the brand we really want in our portfolio, and this is how it will expand, we'll be able to grow it in the Indian market?
So, Iconic is a premium multi-brand store, and we sell all kind of brands. We sell brands from Hugo Boss, Armani, Exchange, to Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein. So we have a lot of data. We have a lot of customer preference data in terms of what they shop, what they like, what product category they like. And whenever we have such a strong data, we look at brands, and it's always better to create your own brands.
Right.
Because margins are higher. You create more customer loyalty because there is an exclusivity in your store for the brands that you control in the market. So with the help of all the data which shows us the customer preferences, we're able to actually narrow down on brands which will excite the customer in a particular store. So most of our decisions when it comes to expanding in our own in-house brands or categories comes from customer preferences, and that we have a lot of data.
Right. And when you say that you have a lot of data, do you have data for digital sales, or do you also sort of collect data in some way through your stores and make sure that you're sort of...
So I would say we are a 360 degrees company. We control and look at data from every source. And when I say every source, it's not only offline, it's also online.
Right.
So, for example, it's a very simple example that how do we expand in newer cities in India? It's very simple that, online today delivers to 20,000 plus postal codes in the country, whereas physical stores are limited to, say, 35 cities.
Correct.
But looking at the sales which are coming from pin codes, we decided even expanding to newer cities. So we have a lot of data which is customer preferences from across channels. And that helps us also in configuring which store, which brand to do in which pocket of India. So it has to be a data-led decision now. You cannot just work with impulse. Obviously, there has to be some percentage of impulse, but I think 90% decisions are made on data. And our data is all unified. We collect data from all sources, may it be dispatched of a D2C order to offline sales. We have one source of data. So we have all data, and then we dice it out to figure out what we want to do.
Right. And so now we're just on the subject of omni-channel. So how do you ensure that a strong digital presence is not a offset for your stores? So how do you make sure that, while we've spoken on data, but nevertheless, how do you make sure that both get their due advantage?
It's very interesting to see that a lot of people feel that omni-channel is a disruption for offline sale. But I feel that it's an add-on to offline sale, and I have a data for that. It's very interesting because we were the first few companies who started the omni sale model.
Right.
Even in marketplaces like Myntra, Ajio, Tata Click, Luxury. And what we realized was that today, all these marketplaces, they have a lot of new customer base who wants to try the brand. They're the first time aspirational customers for the brands. So what we've seen is that at least 40% of those customers, their third purchases are made in offline. So we acquire those customers online, but because then they get exposed to the brand, the quality of the product that the brand is offering, then actually they come back to offline, and they actually become loyal offline customers because the experience and the convenience that you can give in offline, that experience you cannot give in online, but online really helps in making our brands reach to customers who are sometimes not offline customers. So with data, actually, it says that omni-channel is actually the way forward. It's actually, you cannot run a company now which is only offline focused. Neither you can run a company which is purely digital. So you need to have a beautiful mix of both the channels and use the data in a way that they both support each other.
And so how does the business lend itself to omni-channel? So what percentage goes where?
So if you look today at, let's take an example of marketplace data, which is a bigger data. So for example, Myntra, out of 100% Myntra Gantt business, 45% business comes from omni-channel.
Right.
And why omni-channel? Because our products are distributed over stores, over different regions, different states. So what we do is we have to give that convenience to the shopper that the product has to be delivered within say 48 hours of his order. And through omni-channel, we are able to do that. And that creates a wow factor, because if he orders, he gets the product in 24 to 48 hours. And that creates a longer loyalty base for a customer, as well as it also creates a confidence and a trust level for the customer.
Online marketplaces particularly, they are known for their discounting policies, and of course it gives a big push to the brand as well as sales. But nevertheless, how do you sort of then build that serendipity and magic of full price buying with an experience in the stores and all this? So how does it all complement each other?
Absolutely. So what we've seen is that because we are working more on the premium brands, in the premium category of brands, experience plays the bigger role. So experience you can only get when you visit an offline channel, because that kind of experience, when you're exposed to the brand, that catalog size, which is obviously much bigger than the online catalog size sometimes, it helps the customer. But we as a company also operate in a very fixed policy that we don't offer two different prices of the same product across channels.
Right.
I firmly believe, and I've always had this belief, that you cannot cheat the customer. You need to have the same offering, same price point, same discounting, maybe in the online channel or the offline channel.
Right.
Yeah, online is more driven by discounts, but that does not make us discount our fresh season. So for fresh season, a customer will get the same offering, maybe in online channel or offline channel. What is the value add or a beauty of offline is that when he visits an offline channel, he's able to touch and feel the product that sometimes he cannot do in online channel.
Right.
And that's the beauty of offline. That kind of experience you can never give in online.
Correct.
So, but it's very important for a brand to have the same offering, same discounting, so that the customer does not feel cheated, because he's making an effort or she's making an effort to visit a store, actually go to the store, take out time. And that if you're cheating the customer through differential discounting, that's a...
But do you also differentiate your range between what is selling online and then what is selling in the stores?
We don't differentiate. But what happens is, because offline channel today is an expression of the brand.
Right.
So there you need to add freshness very frequently. So what we do is that all the slow movers or the old inventory, we pull it out from the store, we add freshness to the store, so that whenever the customer visits the store, he or she gets a better experience in terms of new launch, in terms of freshness, new fashion elements. Whereas all the old stock that we have, which sometimes are slow movers or sometimes are season minus stocks, they move to the online channel. And sometimes that online channel, which is a discount-led channel, through discounting, we are able to liquidate our inventory, which also helps us in bringing more and more freshness to our offline channel. Even today, as a company, at an overall level, 85% of our business comes through offline. So that's our biggest bet. 15% comes from online channel.
Marketplaces and
all included. So what we've seen is, with this 85% business, the beauty is that it's not a discount-led business. It's actually an experience-led business. So there the customer is looking for more and more freshness, more and more newness. And we work at an average discounting of just say 18 to 22% when it comes to offline channel.
Right.
So there we figured out that the customer is actually not a discount seeker. There the customer is an experience seeker, which is more important. And we control that 15 to 18% contribution coming from online channel beautifully, because we don't want to erode our brands in long term. We don't want the customer to feel that the brand is always available on discount. And that's why even today, even with a very strong digital push, 85% business still comes from the offline channel.